Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to daily end of day update. And starting with Bitcoin, you can see this is Bitcoin future. If I go to 1 hour chart, Bitcoin futures on Monday open with a gap down. So I try to mark gap downs with yellow line and gap ups with green lines. So for example, here on this day, which is 3rd of December, we had a gap up. So bottom gaps I marked with green lines, top gaps are yellow lines, just for your info. So now we have a gap at the top and you have multiple gaps at the bottom. You can see we have one gap around 39,420, second gap 34,000, third gap 29,660, fourth gap 26,305, and fifth gap around 20K, all right? And you can see what's happening. We are making a higher high, but you can see RSI is making lower high. You can see price is going higher with RSI going lower high, and also very, very overbought short term. And I released a video yesterday, short video saying this is very, very overbought. You should be looking to take profits. And you can see what happened today. We got a red sell signal on RSI. Okay, so now the only other confirmation we are waiting for is this crossover on PPO. Once green line goes below red line, then that's a confirmation, and it's going to put a lot of bearish pressure on Bitcoin to go down. Let's actually look at live market and see if anything changed. We can see live market. We already have a red sell signal and PPO officially crossed over. Okay, so you can see green line is below red line, which is a very, very bad indication. So you should be looking to take profits. If you haven't done so, this is your opportunity to take profits, and especially with the divergence, that's not a good news. So time to be careful on Bitcoin. Now you can see what our targets. I already had this prediction here, a green line, because I knew these gaps do get filled 90% of the time. Now we're getting a pullback. If you're a bull, best case is we only get the pullback till here, which is around 40K, and then and get a bounce. But this gap is definitely going to be filled. So Bitcoin futures where they are right now, I think I'm still expecting a 6% dump anytime now to fill that gap around 39,420 at minimum. All right. Now, if now these divergence are telling me we're gonna get a bigger pullback, all right. I think we will get a pullback till 34,000 at minimum. Depending on the day we get, we could be on this trend line, or we can go even all the way down. So eventually all these gaps will be filled. I just don't know when. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. All right. So you got to be very, very careful here. And also you can see we are in near massive resistance area. This whole area, red box, is massive resistance. So we are just in a big resistance zone. So if you're still in profits, please lock your profits before you lose them. Wait for a dip, wait for some of these gaps to fill before you go and take before you get bullish on Bitcoin. All right. So that's my advice. Ethereum, same thing, got a red sell signal. We can see red dot here, and these divergences were telling me that we're gonna get a sell signal very, very soon. And Ethereum live market, same thing here. Green line is below red line. I can zoom in here. You can see the crossover happen, and same thing, going higher on a divergence. You can see here also going higher on a divergence. And let's go back to Ethereum futures. Same thing here, divergence on RSI, PP also divergence. So we're getting a dump, and right now there are no indications of how big this dump will be. Next support is around here, around 30K, which is in line with the Bitcoin futures of around here. So 34K could be filled, and even we can go as low as 30K. All right. So if that happens, the dump could go from here all the way around 29%. All right. So be very, very careful. Right now, there is no indication that this is going to be over. Massive support is here around 30K at the moment. All right. So be very careful on crypto. All right, so let's go to traditional market. VIX is green, S&P 500 SPY ETF is green, triple Qs is green. So there's a contradiction. All right. Usually, when SPY goes higher, VIX goes lower. But today there's a divergence. All right. So anyhow, so VIX was spiking. You can see cycle low here coming very perfectly. You can see cycle low, it's coming here. So we could be getting ready for a bounce. All right. Fed meeting is coming probably on Wednesday. They're going to have meeting minutes, and tomorrow meeting starts. So depending on what they say, we could get some volatility, and VIX can pump from here, and that could be bearish for S&P 500 and Bitcoin as well. All right. So just be mindful of that. SPY, let's go to 1 hour chart. Let's go to regular trading hours. And you can see this gap is still here, all right? 455. another gap here, 440, and we're going higher on divergence. All right, so go to daily chart. So it made a new high, SPY, but RSI still lower. I don't see PPO lower, but RSI showing clear divergence. So we're going higher on a divergence like Bitcoin, and we're going higher on a gap. All right, you can see how many gaps are here. I think this correction is kind of over. So we could go a little bit more higher, and then we're going to go lower. Let me draw this projection in a better way, I think, what I'm anticipating. So I'm looking for a little bit more higher, maybe by end of December, and then get a pullback. All right, that's what I think will happen. So be mindful of that. All right, and then we should get a bounce. That's what my projection is. So we're just forming a topping process. And we are towards the end of it. Sure, we can go a little bit more higher, for example, on triple Qs, but eventually these gaps will be filled. All right. So same story on peak triple Qs, gapping up. All these green lines are the gaps to fill. Most of these gaps will be filled. I just don't know when. So just be very, very careful. All right. Don't get super excited and super bullish. This is not the time to buy. You can see here also RSI also making a lower high, and PPO also making a lower high. All right, so we're going higher on divergence on PPO and RSI. So be a bit careful here. And I will show you big FANG stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Meta, Amazon, NVDA, Tesla. All these are red. All right, so they are telling a different story than the index. So usually that could be a precursor. So you got to be very, very careful here. All right, and let's quickly look at Dow Jones. Here you go, Dow Jones DIA, same thing here, going higher. I don't see any divergence yet. So Dow Jones is the bullish. You can see RSI showing no divergence. If I go to 1 hour chart, 1 hour chart is showing divergence. You can see slightly here. 1 hour is going higher with divergence on PP and RSI. Again, on daily chart, multiple gaps to be filled. So be careful here. IWM. Looking for a little bit of pullback. Maybe it's just gonna be green until S&P 500 stays green. So looking for a little bit of, maybe it will fill this gap and then get a pullback. But I'm not looking to buy these extreme levels here. All right. So be careful here. Crude oil. Again, on you can see on 1 hour chart we had a breakout. Nice breakout on a 1 hour chart, breakout, and now we are just going towards resistance. So hits this resistance first time, immediate sell-off. That's okay. Now we're going to make another attempt. If I go to daily chart, looking for this break of this resistance. All right, and you can see this area here, little bit of resistance here where they are right now. Looking for this to break and then back test and then going towards this $81. So from now until December, I'm looking for this crude oil to have bullish impact, then maybe have a little bit pullback and then try to pull back, break this again. All right. CNQ already in the buy zone. You can see here, this is the biggest Canadian oil miner. So I'm holding this. It's green today, but looking for these two gaps. So from where we are right now, if you want to trade with me, sure, you go ahead and buy CNQ. I'm looking for two profit zones. One profit is 8.55%. Second profit is around 6%. 66.36 and 67.84 is my target. Tesla in a wedge. You can see in a wedge down 1.68%. Looking for this gap fill. So I'll be looking to buy Tesla at 224. I don't care if they don't reach, so I will not buy. But if at any day it comes here, almost 6% down, I'll be looking to buy Tesla. Gold. In the support area, I think it's trying to go down. So the support is becoming a resistance now. So I'm going to make it red. So it looks like they want a bigger pullback. So as long as this is a higher low, we're still good. This could be the support can be a little bit more broader. So we can still bounce from here. But if that does not work, then probably we're going to go lower. So we're still kind of, you can see high, low, high. So it really needs to bounce from here right now, gold. If it doesn't bounce, then that's not a good news. All right. So this is the make or break for gold, and it really needs to bounce from here right now. Silver looks like it wants to go to this trend line. So a little bit more downside from here to this trend line is around 2%, 2.7%. So wait to buy on this trend line. So about around $22, 22.3. That's what I'm looking to buy silver again. Natural gas in a nice buy zone here. I don't see any divergences, so this could be. So I think seasonality wise, I'm looking for still more downside. I think it can go test previous lows, but this is a buy box. But seasonality wise, it can still go lower towards the end of December till February. So I think what seasonality is telling me that we are gonna go lower, maybe do a triple bottom, then bounce, um, and then go back here and then go. So something like that I'm expecting. All right. Dollar index bounce. So I think we're going to keep bouncing. Next resistance is here around 105. I covered crypto, Toronto Stock Exchange. Looking for a little bit of, I think if we're going to follow S&P 500, I'm looking for a little bit more bounce towards the end of December and then come back. All right, that's what I'm thinking going to happen. Hang Seng Index. Let's go to 1 hour chart. I think it's trying to break out. Let's see. All right, let's extend this. Hang Seng Index. All right, something like this. Right on resistance here. Okay, right on massive resistance here. So waiting for that to break out. Let's see if that happens. Still no buy signal. If it breaks out, that's going to be a buy signal. One thing to note on 1 hour chart, do we have divergence? Little bit of divergence on one. Yeah, you can see nice divergence on 1 hour chart. RSI is higher. You can see here, and PPO is also higher from here. So it's going lower on high divergence. So if it breaks out, breakout, backtest. So I'm looking for something like this. This is China, guys. If you are not don't know, breakout, backtest, and then go higher. All right, something like this I'm expecting, or breakout, or have this box here. So this whole zone here, if it breaks out, look to backtest this on this zone and then bounce. All right. So same thing happened on crude oil, for example. I can show you in 1 hour chart. You can see same thing, same scenario. It had a breakout, okay, backtest this whole area is support, and now it's going higher. All right. So similar step on Hang Seng Index. Bond market. Let's go to daily chart. Bond market also a little bit downwards. Just I think flat it was today. So buy the dip. So any dips, looks like this bottom is coming mid of December. So probably most likely looking for a little bit more lower prices here on bond, a little bit lower and then bounce. All right, that's what I'm thinking. Copper, buy the dip, look to buy in this buy zone, but it's right now still higher high, higher lows. Let's see if it makes a new high, or if you get in again in this buy box, look to buy palladium. Flat, this resistance is here, still going, just consolidating on a higher momentum on PP and RSI. So wait for a breakout of this trend line. All right, don't be buying palladium here. So just be a bit careful. Soybeans massive pump from the buy box again. So still it's a lower high, lower low. This gap here could be filled at any point 1354, but if it comes back in this buy box, look to buy soybeans. Wheat, again, good pullback. I was expecting, and perfectly it's got a pullback. Let's see if it can find support here. This is where it should be looking to find support and bounce from here. Corn also looks like a breakout of this resistance, but still struggling to hold here. So let's see if it can bounce. If not, then that's going to be bearish for corn, but I'm expecting a bounce. Sugar down another 3%. So you can see my arrow here, looking to buy only around this box, around 20 bucks. So I think still a little bit more downside on sugar from here, looking for around 7-8% more downside. All right, so be careful, do not be buying sugar yet. Apple down 1.29%. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Looks like this gap is filled. You can see all these gaps do get filled. Now there's another gap here. It gapped down. Next target is 189, and you can see what happened on Apple. We got a sell signal today. Okay, red dot, which is a sell signal, and if I zoom in, PPO, you can see green line is below red line, which is not a good news. All right, so biggest stock in the market is, you can see, going higher on divergence on RSI. So price is making higher high, RSI is making lower high, PPO is making lower high. So biggest stock in the market is now showing a sell signal. So you got to be careful. First gap here around 189, second gap here around 185, third gap here around 182. Okay, so be careful overall on indices. Netflix was up almost 4% in the morning, but gave all down. Sorry. It had a sell signal on 1st of December. Since then, doing nothing, and looks like it could come down, fill this gap at 454 and 412. Microsoft Also had a sell signal here around 29th of November, and right now no indication for reversal. Looks like it wants to fill this gap around 356. Google had a massive gap up after AI news, and we had a couple of gaps down now, and you can see there also, I think it wants to fill this gap at 131 before it goes higher. Meta just gap down again. There's another gap here. It looks like it wants to come back to fill this gap. Amazon gap down. Also, there's a gap here. Eventually, it's going to come fill this gap at some point. I don't know when. So let's see. If we follow S&P 500, probably it's going to fill this upper gap first, and then it will come down and fill this gap. All right. Snowflake's up 1%. Looks like eventually it will come down at some point. So let's see. NVDA down 1.8%. All semiconductors were up pretty heavily. You can see SOXL almost 10.7%, but except NVDA. All right, looking for these couple of gaps. So 423 is a good time to buy. AMD was up, massive pump. So buy signal, no divergence on RSI, which is good news, making a new high. And also, yeah, I don't see any news, but look for a pullback. Any pullback should be met by a buying pressure. Gold miners, Newmont mine. Let's go to 1 hour chart. You can see how nicely all gaps do get filled. This gap is filled. Delete. GDX gap down. Still, this gap is not filled. But on daily chart, now the next target is this second gap. Looks like. So let's see if it can fill this gap and then go higher. Sector-wise, XLK, looking for these couple of gaps to fill. This is tech sector, XLE, energy sector in the buy box. So looking for this. I think let's go to 1 hour chart. This gap is still not filled. So maybe it will go a little bit lower, then it goes higher. I don't know, but still it's in a massive buy box. So you should be looking to buy, accumulate all this price action here is a good price to buy. XLV, I don't know if it's going to come all the way down, but S&P 500 eventually pull back and these gaps will eventually be filled. So I'm not looking to buy here, looking for a pullback. I'm not buying until I get a pullback. XLI Industrial is also going higher, but we are right around the corner for a pullback. I don't buy straight line up. Real estate sector also waiting for pullback. Financials also waiting for pullback. Regional bank ETF also waiting for pullback. All right. Shopify gap down, another gap around 62 bucks, looking for that to buy. Walmart, still no divergences, looking for divergence to buy Walmart, so nothing special here. Let's look at UNH going higher on divergence, so be careful. Looks like it's getting ready for a pump, for a dip. Pfizer, that's one of the interesting start buying back in the buy box, and on divergence, RSI and PPO, both of them have divergence. So good time to buy Pfizer in my opinion. All right, guys. Hopefully this this review was helpful for you. And if you learned something, please hit the like button on the way out and share with your friends and family. And I really appreciate you guys watching this video every day. So anyhow, so before we go out, let me share levels. So let's go to S&P 500. You can see right now it's in a sell signal, so sell box. This is only for day trading in the sell range, so I'm not interested in buying. Nasdaq 100 also in the sell range. All these indices are in the sell range. Dow Jones, Russell 2000 in the sell range. Crude oil in the middle, but CNQ, biggest Canadian oil miner is in a buy zone, so that's why I'm buying CNQ. Tesla, looking to buy only at that gap fill which I showed you on 224. Still just touched buy zone in the morning and just massive bounce after that. Gold is in the buy zone, silver is in the buy zone, natural gas, sorry, let me fix this. Natural gas is bouncing from the buy zone, silver, you can see it touched the buy zone on Friday. Bitcoin, just bouncing from the buy zone, fell like, I don't know what happened, fell below third standard deviation around 914 and then was trying to recover. But again, did a double bottom and then bouncing. Ethereum probably did the same. Same thing here. Now bouncing from the buy zone. Hang Seng Index was in the buy zone this morning around 10 o'clock and then bounced from the buy zones. Now ending up in the neutral zone. And I think, let's see, sugar might be in the buy zone. Yeah, sugar is in the buy zone. Let's see, wheat Wheat is also in the buy zone. Soybeans must be in the sell zone. Yep. And copper just bouncing from the buy zone. All right. Okay, guys, hopefully this was all helpful and it will help you for tomorrow's trade. And if you like, if you want these levels, I share this with my subscribers. Join the YouTube subscribers link, and I will share all these details with you. All subscribers get that every day, couple of times a day. I send screenshots, and you could get that too. Right, guys, have a good day, and I wish you a best rest of the night. Bye.